Hello everybody, welcome back to F1 22 for McLaren career mode today for episode 2 at the Saudi Arabian GP around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. And if you did miss the last, well technically stream for episode 1 of this career mode around the Bahrain circuit, make sure you do check that one out before you see this one so that you're up to date with the whole series so far. So yeah, as we get into things, we are third slowest in the R&D chart, so we're trying to really bridge that gap to Haas and also AlphaTauri by around the halfway stage of this career mode in season 1. And as we move on to the standings, you may be wondering what the hell happened, because we are on 25 points and every other person is on 0. Well, basically, in the during a safety car even, we did have a glitch where everybody passed the safety car and obviously got a disqualification. So it's McLaren on top in the constructors and myself on top in the drivers as well. But that is not most probably going to be the theme of the whole career mode. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, we're going to head straight into qualifying here for Jeddah. So I'll see you on track. So here we go for the first lap here at Saudi Arabia for this weekend of Formula 1, and we're going to start the lap and hopefully get a good turn 1 as well. So we're going to go into turn 1, keep it tight to the inside of turn 2, get a good exit, hit the power straight down there, and now we're going to cut to the end of the lap because it's not that quick of a lap this one, so might as well just keep it nice and short. So we're going to come around the final corner, open DRS, and across the line it will be a 1:26.6, so the second off the pace of Leclerc first of all. So we can definitely improve on that, and that is exactly what we hope to be able to do this time round, as we're now going to come around the final corner to start our final lap in qualifying, and I'll leave you on board for this lap.
Okay, 1 minute remaining, just 1 minute. Thirty seconds left in the session.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Leclerc, Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
So there we have it, Charles Leclerc is on pole then here in Saudi Arabia, followed by Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz to complete the top 3 then. We are down in P10, which is actually a really good result then. for us, to be honest. And yeah, our teammate down in P15, and Nicholas Latifi, obviously is last because it's Nicholas Latifi. So hopefully we can have a good race then here in Saudi Arabia. So without further ado, let's head down to the track on Sunday.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hejaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits in the Formula One calendar, Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, George Russell, and Magnussen. Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, James, and Pierre Gasly. Bottas, Joe, Lance Stroll, and Norris. Vettel, Ocon. Sir Lewis Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty. And Mick Schumacher, Albon, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you here with us today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So here we are for the formation lap just before today's GP in Saudi Arabia, and just get all the tyres warmed up.
Okay, how was that pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
So yeah, we're going to cut to the end of the formation lap because it takes too long, I'm going to be honest. So we need to hopefully get a good starting position. Tyres need to be warmed up, that's why you can hear the excessive burnout to try and get the rears fired up. And here we are, we're going to start parking. Can we get a good one? No, we just go over it by about 2 millimeters.
Not an ideal placement in your grid slot. You're going to need a good launch at the race start.
That is exactly what we didn't need then, but it is 5 red lights here in Saudi Arabia, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go. Long hold on the lights there, and it's going to be a good start for us. We get up the middle of Magnussen and also Alonso into turn 1, and can we try and go around the outside of Alonso through turn 2? Yes, we can. We're going to follow Magnussen now, try and keep with the slipstream so that we can keep Tsunoda behind. We go extremely defensive, I think, into turn 3 or 4 there, and yeah, we're just going to keep P7 then already. Now we need to follow Kevin Magnussen all the way around here. Keep in the slipstream. We're going to deploy ERS so that we can try and get past the Haas, but we're not going to be able to do it this time around at the moment. But now we're going to cut later on into the final corner. We need to maximise the exit then here on lap 1, and now we're going to deploy our overtake mode on ERS, and we're going to look into the slipstream. We've got a load of power. Can we get him into turn 1? Here, we're going to cut to the replay cameras, and we're going to go to the outside then of turn 1. We're going to try and keep it around the outside, keep it narrow through turn 2, and we're going to make our way up into P6. And now we need to focus on trying to catch up to Russell. However, Magnussen takes us back the following lap, so we're going to do the same approach. We're going to stay narrow at turn 2, and we're going to force him into a mistake, so we're going to keep P6 for another lap. So yeah, we need to hunt down the Mercedes. Hopefully we'll just try and make a gap to the cars behind, and now we're going to come on to lap 4 then.
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
So we are boxing this lap because I was going to pit on lap 5, but we need to try and do something to close the gap. Then now as we approach the end of lap 4, I come into the pits. And now we're going to get a good turn in. I know you can't see it there because we're on the replay, but it's a good stop, and I can tell you it was a 2.3 second stop there. So now we need to see what we can do.
Now we want to finish the race on this compound.
So we're going to exit the pit lane on cold tyres now, which isn't helpful, but it's the way the rules are now in Formula 1. So we need to hunt after Albon and Latifi to try and, well, make an impact in the leaders. And now as we move on to lap 7, we're going to close into Albon. Can we do a similar move like we did on Magnussen? Yes, we can. We're going to go really narrow, and we do kind of squeeze Albon into a massive mistake, but we do get past. So now we've got 5 seconds to Perez after he has also pitted here. No. And now we move on to lap 7, and there is a yellow flag down the back straight. It looks like a Mercedes going slowly, and it is Lewis Hamilton. He had a grid penalty at the start of the weekend for today's race, and it just seems like the engine's blown. That is really unfortunate for the 7-time world champion in the Merc. But yeah, now nothing really happened between lap 7 and lap 10. But now we're on lap 10. Here we have the battle for the lead. This is going to be one of the most important things of the race. Who will win, Max Verstappen or Charles Leclerc? So they're drag racing each other down the main straight as we approach lap 11 now. And the Red Bull has CRS, but the Ferrari can just keep up with him. And it seems like there's a bit of contact into turn 1, but they managed not to get any damage. And Leclerc does get the better exit out of turn 2. And Verstappen's just trying to find a way past, but he can't just yet. But now we're going to come a couple of laps later, and Max Verstappen, and not a couple of laps even, a couple of corners, and Max Verstappen's going to come around the outside of the hairpin. And can he keep ahead of Leclerc? Doesn't look like he can. They're still wheel to wheel for a quite narrow section of it. And in the background there is Carlos Sainz. Can Carlos Sainz just snatch his race win away because of these two fighting it out for the race win? We'll have to wait and see. But now we come onto the main straight then, and Charles Leclerc has been overtaken by his teammate, and Carlos Sainz is going for the move into turn 1 on Max Verstappen. Can he make it? There's contact once again with Ferrari and a Red Bull, but it looks like Carlos Sainz might be able to get a good exit into turn 3. Can he get round the Dutchman? Yes, he can. Carlos Sainz moves into the lead of the Saudi Arabian GP. And Max Verstappen is now in P2 and Charles Leclerc P3. But now that is pretty much the end of the race because nothing else happened. It's going to be a win for Carlos Sainz, his first in Formula 1 in our universe. And it's an amazing result. And the top 4 are covered by less than a second. That is amazing. But we're going to come home in a good P6 then as we round the final corner, hopefully keeping it out of the wall. And Sergio Perez does get the fastest lap here in Saudi Arabia as well. But we're going to come across the line and it's going to be a P6 finish for us. That is absolutely amazing for myself.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
And that brings the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to a close then, as we reflect on the team's impressive performance today. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to James. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. There is also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So there we have it. Carlos Sainz does win the Saudi Arabian GP, followed by Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, and Sergio Perez does get the fastest lap with a 1:30.7. And we do come home P6 and Lando Norris P14, so it's another 8 points for us here in Saudi Arabia. So I believe we will still lead the championship because of the incident, let's say, last time out in Bahrain. Yeah, so we do lead by only 8 points now, ahead of Carlos Sainz, and then it's Max Verstappen in P3. But Ferrari do take the lead of the constructors, not surprising because I am the only one in McLaren who has scored a point so far, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah. But that is going to be about it then for today's episode. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one for the Australian GP.